My name is Adrian.
And I'm Jeff.
And this is Will It Fly?
So the rules of the competition are pretty simple. We have to get these to fly as far away as we can. We have about 5 hours to do so.
Each team has $20 to work with, and Team Ryerson has Batman.
And Team U of T has Superman.
Let's do this.
Let's do it.
And welcome viewers to Will It Fly, put on by the Toronto students for the Advancement of Aerospace. Today's competition? Batman versus Superman, Ryerson versus the University of Toronto. The teams are set, the challenge will soon be met. Let's take a look at what happens together, shall we? We'll start by taking a look at the Ryerson team, and what sort of crafty contraption do they have planned?
A bat arrow.
Okay, it's a bat arrow, but what the heck is that?
So basically, what's going to happen is this is all going to be the same design. Batman's going to be like right here. And we're going to get a sort of a slingshot. We're going to get some bungee cord, have it attached to two sort of separate things. Pull it back, have the bat arrow here, and then just launch them.
Interesting. So the Ryerson team is planning to go for a sort of slingshot contraption. Batman will be placed inside the safety of the capsule, a plane will be constructed around him, a bungee will be pulled back, and when released, Batman will soar to victory. Meanwhile, the team from Toronto has already started to plan their purchases for their flying contraption. Their design of choice? A water rocket. And how are they going to build it in 5 hours? Well, I think it'll go something like this.
It's basically it. So we'll cut this, we'll cut one of these, we'll use this, stoppers, launch slugs, we'll epoxy the launch slugs on the side of the rocket.
How very, descriptive. So the idea is that the Toronto team will build a water rocket from a pop bottle. They will attach the rocket to a launch rail, fill it with water, plug the end with a rubber stopper, fill it up, and once the pressure gets high enough, the stopper will fly off and the rocket, along with their Superman action figure, will fly away. While some of the Ryerson team heads to the store to pick up materials, the others decide to start building the bat arrow, and as you can see, Ryerson is really keen on the foam. They're even providing a nice cushiony ride for Batman. Meanwhile, we check back in with the Toronto team, who have just returned with their purchases.
So we need to make this flight ready in 4 hours.
Not a simple feat, so just what is their plan for accomplishing this?
So do you want to start building the rocket, I'll build the ramp.
Sounds like a plan. Let's check in with the Ryerson team to see if they are being constructive.
It's a coffin for Batman.
I thought you were supposed to safely fly, Batman. Well, as long as it flies, I suppose. But whatever happened to the catapult?
The idea here is we're going to create a stand with this rail that should stand on its own as a tripod. And then we're going to have this sort of come out there and there.
We've got really strong elastics, which are going to attach to the end of those. The end of the things are going to attach them to the end of the cart. So we're going to pull back.
Pull them down this rail here and let them fly.
So it seems that the Ryerson design is coming together nicely, but it appears that the Toronto team is having a few, gastrointestinal problems. Okay, enough of that. How's their design coming?
So thus far, we have completed our beautiful launch rail, and we are putting some launch slugs on the rocket so that it can mate to the launch rail. And then we need some more epoxy here. And then after that, we are going to glue the fins in place, and then we should be ready to fly this thing.
And when can we expect to see its, maiden voyage?
If all goes well within the hour, we should get this thing off the ground.
Excellent. So while we wait for the epoxy to dry, let's check back with our Ryerson team. And it seems like they've had some sort of structural failures.
This is the damage that the CA did. See, there's a hole. There's a piece that chipped off and we tried putting it back in and gluing it, but then the CA just started melting it and making the hole bigger. So for now I put wood glue in there, so hopefully it'll just fill out the space a little.
So, lesson learned. Always make sure that your glue is compatible with foam and won't melt it. Valuable lessons. And evidently, there are a few issues also with the bungee cords.
So what happens is, there's supposed to be 15-inch elastics, but when you stretch them, they stay that way. They don't come back. So we have to go by other real bungee cords that have a lot more stretch to them. So hopefully these are exactly what we need.
Hopefully. On the other end, though, Team Toronto is preparing for their first test flight. How's that going?
So what we're going to do is we're going to fill it about 3/4 full with water, and then we're going to pressurize it to whatever the hell we can get it to, and eventually it's going to blow out the stop at the end and hopefully take off.
Words of encouragement for sure, but its maiden flight is, a little less than encouraging.
It's just like...
Not so great, but the team definitely has time to rebuild. And to fix their design, what they're doing is lowering the amount of water that they initially put into the rocket to reduce the takeoff mass, and also they will epoxy in the stopper so that it, hopefully, can hold a little bit more pressure. After a few quick fixes and modifications, it's time for the two teams to take to the field for their final competition. I'll let the contenders take it away.
Alright, so welcome to the final demonstration of our 6-hour design. On the left-hand side, we have the University of Toronto entry, which is a nice water rocket, which I think we called Wet and Wild. It's it should be pretty exciting.
All right, so for the Ryerson side, we have the bat plane. But the construct of this whole thing was the batapult. We made this sort of wooden contraption, a tripod style. We have a little C-frame for the bat plane to come on, and you just yank this thing back and slingshot it forward.
Can we have a short description again of what the competition is all about?
The goal is, we gotta get it in that goal post down at the end.
There we go.
Alright? Come on, batapult.
Total distance of 2 meters.
It appears that the Ryerson entry was not stable. When you're designing an aircraft, it's important that your center of pressure, that is, the location where all of your aerodynamic forces act, is behind your center of gravity, which is the point where all your gravitational forces act. If this doesn't occur, well, you get the idea. Let's see how the team from Toronto fares.
Ready? Pressurizing.
Maybe like explosive.
What
are you at?
PSI.
What?
30.
PSI.
Something bad's gonna happen.
I'm gonna get soaked. That's what's gonna happen. Almost 40. Almost 50.
I want it long.
This is gonna go.
Oh my god!
So I guess it's safe to say Superman can fly, Batman cannot. Oh wow.
And we have our victors. The bottle rocket beat the catapult by most of the field. And as the teams exchange congratulations, we remind those watching that if you want to see more aerospace-themed projects, check out TSAA.net. And also a reminder to check out the conference put on by the Toronto Students for the Advancement of Aerospace, happening this October in Toronto. Registration is open. We'll see you next time.